almost ethereal beings that had highly advanced technology that almost appeared magic-like in our game. Um, to go up against an Iconian is no easy task, because they're controlling gravity, summoning constructs to fight for them, and using their gateways to vamp around and manipulate the battlefield. Um, the teams did a fantastic job putting the Iconian War together, and we're so proud of what we were able to put out.
Story, life actually creating stories. When we talk about the process.
Sure. So we usually spend about 12 to 18 months developing our story content in advance. A good example was Delta Rising. We knew we wanted to get to the Delta Quadrant, but we didn't want to spend 70 years getting there. So in season 8, which was almost a year before, we introduced the Dyson suit, which would teleport or let people jump from one section of space to the other. So now players can go from the Alpha, Beta Quadrant to the Delta Quadrant. So now that we kind of had a way to get there, we had to find out how we were going to fill that story the rest of the way. So what we did was we sit down and we come up with our ideas, and everyone has their favorite moments, like, oh, this would be cool, and that would be cool. And with those eventually coalesce into kind of episode chunks. So like, oh, this is kind of the beginning, this is kind of the middle, this is kind of the end. And then a little bit more refinement, and it comes down to a handful of episodes. Okay, we're going to have 6 episodes go live for the expansion. And once we have them into those individual episodes, in a spot where they're refined enough that we feel like we can work with them, we'll sit down and everyone says, oh, who would be the best actor for this episode? Who would be the best actor for that episode? And once we have that figured out, then I'll look at the budget, or I'll talk with Al, and then he'll start contacting celebrities and see who we can get and who's available to fill those roles.
So how do you go about integrating the characters, new voice actors into the game?
So it actually happens at the conventions like here at Star Trek Las Vegas. This gives us an opportunity to meet and interact with them and reach out to them and build a relationship. So we can contact them and see if they're interested in actually working with us. Then as we're developing the story framework, like Steven said, we will try to find like where we need to go and where's a good place that we could add one of the characters. But we don't just want to just throw a character into any old episode just for them to just be there shooting with you and just be eye candy. We want to make sure that the stories we build are personal to those characters. Perhaps those characters have threads that have been, story threads that haven't been finished, or something that is really personal to them has happened to them. So that's really the cornerstone of how we do that, and so we never just throw one in there. So that's the main part of the process, is making sure that it is meaningful to have that character there.
What are some of your favorite stories involving celebrities?
Mine has to be when Michael Dorn reprised his role as Worf. And in his featured episode, Sphere of Influence, you're traversing through this strange, dark, creepy alien environment, and you come across the table from Schisms. And to get that table in game was no easy task or undertaking. The artist that was working on this featured episode, he wanted to improve on what you saw from the show. And after a few meetings, conversations, and making him watch the episode at least like 6 times, he saw the importance of it and got it in game. But it all paid off whenever YouTuber recorded their experience and totally flipped out when they saw the table and recognized it instantly. And it's just like, I know what's going on, and just loved the tie-in that we had for the character of Worf from Schisms, and seeing that all the story build up that we did. So, but now that artist is probably one of our biggest advocates to making sure that the art is show accurate.
Well, that's always important. Either one of you have any fun stories?
Sure. I'll go next. I would say probably my favorite moment is from a featured episode in the game called Dust to Dust. And Dust to Dust is a continuation of actually 2 Voyager episodes. One, Deadlock, where Harry Kim actually dies. So if everyone remembers, Harry Kim in the show is not the original Harry Kim. He's a quantum duplicate. The original Harry Kim died in like season 1, I think it was. And of course, it's telling us 2. So. And the other one is Ashes to Ashes, which is where we introduce to the Kabali, where the Kabali, we learn that the Kabali reproduce by by reanimating the dead of other species. So in our featured episode, Dust to Dust, a continuation of that, the Kabali finds Ensign Kim's body in space and reanimate it, and so he's turning into Kabali. But things go really bad. He freaks out. He doesn't realize it's 30 years later. So you're called in along with Captain Harry Kim to kind of clean up the situation. And in that episode, Garrett Wong just gives an amazing performance because he plays as both an older Captain Kim and a younger, frightened Ensign Harry Kim who's turning into a Kabali. And he doesn't understand it, and so Captain Kim is furious that this happened, and Ensign Kim is panicking, and he's mad. You stole my life. It's been, I was supposed to get home, not you. You stole my life. Where's Janeway? Where's Mom? Where's my girlfriend? And it's a really gut-wrenching moment, and it's just beautifully played by Garrett. And so it's really my favorite moment in the game involving one of the primary actors.
That's a great story.
So one of my favorite moments was from the Delta Rising expansion. It was from the 4th episode, and 7 of 9, it's her first mission with you, and you beam down to a planet of Teray, and they're under attack, and to you, it's an unknown enemy. And you come across a field of injured or dead Teray, and you find one and you revive them. And she says, "What happened here? Who's attacking you?" And he says, "You're 7 of 9. This is your fault. This is the Vaadwaur. You're the one who woke them up. And they're punishing us for being involved in their destruction 1,000 years ago." And it was such a powerful moment for that character. And boy, Jerry Ryan just killed it. She did so great in that role. It's funny, the dev team, typically when we have someone record, sometimes they come in-house and sometimes we record from wherever the local studio is. But the audio team always pipes it into their office so they can hear it all and record it properly. And we'll always go over and sneak a listen, right, just to hear them do their role again. And at one point, Ethan Phillips was in the booth and he was reprising Neelix and he was absolutely killing it. And so I had a few minutes to pop over there and I snuck over and there was already a couple people there listening, which was funny. And he lived with Alpha Quadrant people for a very long time, but there's many species he hadn't met. And so he's recording a line for when a Romulan player comes to the Tlaxian asteroid base for the first time. And he goes, "Ooh, Romulans." And I was like, man, Ethan Phillips is just killing it. He loved it. He hadn't been Neelix in 15 years and he was just right in there. It was really cool.
So for those people who might not have played, where does the Iconian War leave us?
The Iconian War. Well, it's next week. We will have the next episode of Butterfly. We'll be releasing that next week. The player will be going back to the Krenim. They're getting desperate. And about a month after that, we will be releasing our finale of the Iconian War, and it will be an epic battle for the galaxy, right? And it's going to have a very spectacular ending that I hope everyone will enjoy. So after that, we will be launching a brand new story arc. Okay, it's a story arc that will take the player through 2016 and beyond. So it's really a great time to join Star Trek Online right now because you'll be able to get into a brand new story from the ground floor. It's a story about rebuilding, right? Rebuilding from the war. It's a story where we'll be introduced to a new enemy, one that we've seen in Star Trek, but never in Star Trek Online, and we get to witness their origin story, if that makes sense. It's also about how the Federation, the Klingons, will be dealing with these temporal technologies that they've been playing with. It's a brand new story. It's a new beginning. It's a new era. So we'll be talking today. We're announcing season 11, Star Trek Online, New Dawn.
The Iconian War. So many people, so many ships, so many worlds gone. But we fought back. We made the hard choices. We triumphed. Now, it's time to be explorers again. We belong out on the final frontier, making contact with distant worlds and finding a new tomorrow. There's an entire galaxy out there waiting for us. Remember, Captain, when the technology doesn't yet exist, when the mystery can't be solved, when the odds are unbeatable, that's when they call for Starfleet. Your journey into the final frontier is just beginning.
That's a pretty awesome trailer, I have to say.
I know, I'm getting emotional about it. So what sort of features will be playing in New Dawn?
So as Elle said, we're going to be covering a brand new story that kind of covers the time travel aspects that were introduced, and you'll get more of in the next week's episode and the episode following that, the fallout from all of that. But we're starting a brand new story that will take us through 2016. So it's really a great time if you, for some reason, are in this room and never played STO before and are wondering if you should play. Now is a fantastic time. You have all the previous story to catch up on, and you can have the brand new story with the other players at the exact same time. Then we're going to kind of have a side story that's going to cover a fallout from the war from a different perspective. It's going to take place at Deep Space Nine and the Badlands. And the Mirror Universe also had an Iconian war. And they may have won, they may have lost, but however it goes, it's not going to have great consequences for our Prime Universe. And so we're going to kind of figure out what happened with them and how it affects us.
All right, as far as the features are concerned, we will have a couple new cues. These cues are going to be around Deep Space Nine. So the Mirror Universe and is tied in with Deep Space Nine, as we know from the show. So it'll be cues around Deep Space Nine and inside Deep Space Nine. We're also going to be introducing a new space battle zone. The space battle zone is going to take place in the Badlands, and the Mirror Universe have set up a beachhead in there, and so that's where they'll be set up, and so there'll be a huge battle zone happening there. And then we also will be having a new feature, a new system called the Admiralty system. Now, I'm not going to get into too much detail here about it today, but the Admiralty system will be very similar to duty officer system, but it'll be using your starships. So you'll be able to send your starships out onto campaigns and tours of duty to collect rewards for you. So the more ships you have, the more campaigns you're going to be able to engage in. And so they'll be able to put to use some of the older ships and smaller ships. They'll have a really important role. So you'll be able to use them as well. So they'll always have value. So we'll talk more about that soon in the coming days.
So I want to know about the art, because this theme is going to be more hopeful. What was it like building the art for this? How are you tackling that?
Well, it's a new story, a new beginning, a new dawn. So we're bringing back color to Star Trek Online through the Iconian War. It was dark, depressing, hopeless. So as you can see, there's the bright blue sun, and it's just an amazing way to kick off the season. It's a great system map to fly around in, but we're revamping the Badlands and doing a few things at DS9. It's just, we're really excited for you guys to get in there and play and see the amazing art that our team's doing. And they're always pushing the envelope to improve the quality bar and always raising it higher.
Talk about everything. So we've seen some familiar faces in Star Trek Online. So who can we expect to see at the end of the Iconian War and into New Dawn?
Yes. So what we have is in the upcoming episode, we have Aaron Eisenberg joining us as Captain Nog. He will be in the next episode, and he'll also be joined by Jerry Ryan. And in our finale, we'll be bringing back several favorites, including again Aaron and Robbie McNeil and Garrett Wong, and as well as special appearance by, and here he is, Aaron Eisenberg. Aaron, thank you for joining us.
Well, I'm gonna sit way over here. I'm gonna balance this out. I don't know what you guys are doing. They're all on one, like it's gonna tip over.
Okay.
See, you should have been here, maybe two and then one. This is so
We like to
awkward.
Crowded
be
on one
cozy.
couch.
Excellent, that's
I'll
much
sit
better.
like this. Is this comfortable? So awkward. I'm so creepy.
And then after the Iconian War, we'll have season 11, where we'll be joined by Chase Masterson. Now, Chase Masterson has worked in the game before. She's come in as Lita, but she's actually going to be joining us as Mirror Lita. She will be the fleet admiral leading the forces of the Terran Empire against the Federation. There she is. Please welcome Ms. Chase Masterson.
Hi, guys.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being in the game. We have one more surprise for you today. In the finale of the Iconian War, we have a special appearance by our Denise Crosby as Sela, and she decided to stop by today. I believe she's here. Do we have Denise Crosby?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denise, for joining us at the last minute and stopping by.
Listen, I love this game. I love what you guys are doing. I love where you've taken the character of Sela and you've done on the game what I was always hoping that the TV show would do. So I finally got it.
So I want to ask them some questions.
That's so rude how you turned your back to them like that.
Why am I sitting
Unbelievable.
here? Like, this is a weird, now that you point out this is awkward. This is awkward. So Aaron, what was it like seeing your character in game?
Well, seeing it finally was great. Doing the voiceover was a lot of fun. Luckily, I still have my teeth, so I was able to at least recreate the voices as good as I can, and it was a blast to do. It was a lot more than I expected because it was really the first time I did a true voiceover. So it was a lot more in the script than I thought, and I wish I I wish I looked at it ahead of time, but now I'm glad I didn't because I think it went really well. So now if I ever do it again, I don't want to look at the script, but then I don't know if I should look at the script. Very neurotic process. I'm just going to go off stage now.
Chase, I wanted to ask you, you are going to be coming back, like you mentioned, as Mirror Lita. So are you looking forward to exploring more of that character?
I am so looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to you guys exploring that character. It's so funny. Of all of the episodes I did, I think I get asked about the Mirror Universe episode the most. And I think it's partly because Lita turns into such a badass, and partly because there's other provocative things in that character in that episode. But I think mostly it's just a fun turn, a very adventuresome turn on someone who is ordinarily very gentle. And I think we could probably all relate to that. So it's gonna be really fun bringing her back.
I also wanted to ask you quickly about your anti-bullying campaign.
Thank
Just to
you.
get a little bit off topic, sorry.
Thanks.
And your involvement with the UN. You
Thank
wanted
you.
to talk about that a little bit.
Thanks, I'll tell you guys right quick. 2 years ago, I founded the Pop Culture Anti-Bullying Coalition, which is, thanks. Thank you so much. Have you guys heard about it? Okay, well, it basically is the first ever organization to make a stand against bullying, racism, misogyny, and other forms of hate at a Comic-Con. And I did it because I realized that there had never been an outreach against those things and for real life heroism. We celebrate these stories on screen, and they're fantastic stories, and the reason we love them so much is because this is the way that we're supposed to live. And so I founded this organization with 2 anti-bullying experts, and we've done 9 convention appearances, and my partners, the experts, go and work in schools. And I've also done work with them in communities to make the world a better place and to bring IDIC into the real world, because that's the way the world is supposed to be. It's working, celebrating and leading in heroism in both everyday and extraordinary ways. And thanks to you guys are the ones that started all this and that really understand that these stories are foundational to how we're meant to live. So that's what we're trying to do. Oh, and And the United Nations Association is one of our partners. We partnered with the UN Association, the No Hate Campaign, and the Anti-Defamation League. And this year, because of the work we've been doing for the last 2 years, the United Nations Association asked me to be on their advisory board. So there's that.
Great. Well, we're actually, thank you guys for giving us a sneak peek at a new dawn. We're actually going to open up the floor.
Actually, I have a real quick question for Denise.
Oh, okay. Ask away.
I know we can't really talk about it too much, but we talked last night in detail about your story, right? About what you'll be doing. And you've been working with us for a couple of years now. I was just wondering how you felt about the transition of the characters and where it's going, and because you actually even played Tasha Yar in an episode at one point. If you remember, that was a while ago. So, what do you think about where we're going with the story? And because I remember the first time I met you, you were like, I'm going to be in Star Trek Online, and Tasha Yar is going to save the universe or something like that.
Really? I just, again, the story arc that you have for Sela is very much along the lines of how I envisioned it would go with Sela in the next generation. There was always an intent, I was the one who came to the producers after yesterday's Enterprise, which allowed Tasha to be alive again, with the idea of Sela. I thought that, it was a little bit different, that she would have, that Tasha would have a daughter with Lieutenant Castillo. That was my original, sort of vision of her, but they changed it so that she would have this Romulan, half Romulan daughter. But I always wanted, the through line was always that Sela would have to come to understand her human side and somehow get to know her mother truly for what she was and the Federation, and go through an incredible change by embracing that. So you guys have allowed, without going into the detail of what is about to take place, you are on the same track as I am. So it's good. We found each other. We can make that happen.
Excellent. We're very, very happy to have you joining us and being such a big part of Star Trek Online. So thank you so much for all the hard work you've done over the years.
It was my pleasure. I'm going to have to go right now because I have a photo op that I just.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
I really wanted
Thank you.
to thank you for all the work, incredible work you guys do. Excited for you guys to join in, and please tell your friends, play the game. I look forward to all of your feedback next time I see you.
Thank you, Denise.
Oh, gentlemen, you may sit.
Okay, that was a nice treat.
Now we can open the floor to questions. There's people. So let's start over here.
What you got there?
Hi, my name is Robert. But we play Star Trek Online. We've been playing for years.
Excellent.
I am a Fleet Commanding Officer of Special Operations Command. And we also have the House of Calafia, Creon Fleet, and then a SOCOM Delta, which is our secondary fleet.
Fantastic. Are you in an armada now?
We've formed an armada. Yes, it's growing. We have some room and, of course, the learning process, as you guys know. But to make this short, our fleet put together a token, if you will, our way of saying thank you for everything you guys do.
Oh my goodness.
For those that haven't played Star Trek Online, it is a fantastic game. We've had a chance to meet people from all over the world. He is the first person I've met that's played Star Trek Online that lives far from where I live. Our way of saying thank you, would like to give this.
No, thank you. Oh my God, what an honor. Thank you so much. Come here, come on up. Unbelievable. What, how unexpected. That's such a nice tribute. It's well, let me see what you got there. Holy moly.
Basically our fleet patches, which we have made.
You designed all these sweet patches.
They've been designed. We run around with our fleet emblems. And yeah, like I said,
This is unbelievable. This is going to go center stage in our office. I promise you. We will send pictures out. Are you coming to the Meet the Devs? Okay. What have you got here? Oh my God, guys. This is.
We had everybody in our fleet as possible send us screenshots, and through Shutterfly, we made a photo book covering a bit of our history of our.
Did everybody hear that?
This is beyond above and beyond. Thank you, guys.
I am truly honored and blessed, and this is why we make this game. You know, we work in this game for 7 years, and people are passionate about it, and sometimes they get grumpy about it because they really want, there's things that they want from the game, but when we come here, and we see the fans, and we see their faces, and this is above and beyond. This is magnificent, and thank you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you tonight. We'll talk some more at 7:30. Okay, thank you.
Glad I started on that side of the stage. Over here,
Thank
we have a
you.
question.
Don't worry, I've got that covered.
What did you guys bring?
What did you bring?
Hi, my name is Fox Anderson. By the way, Aaron, Chase, nice to see you two again.
Hi.
So on Star Trek Online, my character is Telfar at Wild Fox, and I'm lead admiral of Epsilon. We've already started our own armada and everything. And to give you a bit of history, I've not only a lead fleet admiral for Fleet Online for the second fleet now, but also I'm a lifetime member / career officer for those in the game that know the title, and complete with pre-order pack. So I've been around for a while and know the game pretty much inside and out. I'm kind of the numbers guy for fleet. But I was wondering, what kind of impact and stuff are the Admiralty missions, ship version of the duty officer missions, going to have on for us as a player?
You said duty.
Yes, DUTY.
Okay.
Duty. So you want to know what kind of rewards are specifically from the Admiralty system?
Well, in the duty officer system and stuff, you can slot different duty officers and stuff for space and ground, and they'll actually impact your.
Oh,
build and how
okay.
you-
The active rosters.
Yeah, the active rosters and stuff.
The Admiralty system will not have an active roster system. It's not exactly like the duty officer system, but there are campaigns which are basically regions, like there might be a Federation campaign and a Romulan campaign and Klingon campaign. Maybe in the future there'll be additional ones. But there'll be tours of duty, and as you complete tours of duty, those take a long time to complete. Well, the closest thing I could say they're like assignment chains in the duty officer system, but they're not quite the same. That's just the closest analogy for now. As you complete those will bring you large-scale rewards that are repeatable, and you can keep doing that. I won't get into details of the rewards, but to answer your question directly, no, there's no active roster for them. But what there are is that if you have big ships and you have little ships, they all have value within this system. So I promise you there'll be more details in the weeks to come. It's just a little too soon to talk about details today. We just wanted to give a high overview at this point.
In general, it's to make you feel like an admiral, right? You're commanding your ships that you're not flying still.
Cool. That's actually makes me rather glad that I hung on to over 30 ships.
Excellent. Thank you.
Makes us even more glad. Thank you.
I think we have time for one, maybe two more questions. So over here.
So I'm pretty different, but I was just wondering, since you're getting more and more of the old cast into Star Trek Online, like that's more playable races outside the Romulans.
You mean for like a new expansion?
Yeah.
Always. It's something that we've thought about. We have a couple of heavy hitters. I think we did a poll not too long ago. I would definitely say it's something that we've thought about, but it would be on the long-term horizon for sure.
Tell me, who would you want to be a new playable faction? What would you want?
Something like Cardassian.
Something like Cardassians? Or Kardashian.
Kardashian Dominion is what he said, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. It's a very DS9 heavy crowd. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, the DS9 cast is here. I feel like I have to say it.
Oh.
You can play a Ferengi. What more would you want to do? I mean, come on, sit down. Just go sit down.
It's a tough call, I know.
You just
And
got
it
your
is-
life
it is a
membership
DS9.
revoked.
I'm sorry. Go on. It is a DS9 heavy
What kind of
season,
people
so-
are around here? This is ridiculous. What kind of fans are coming out? Uncle, who was that guy?
Yeah, we have time for one more over here.
All right, I'm not sure we have the time to completely fill this out. In the past, we had a diplomatic path and there were diplomatic missions and they disappeared. Now with the war over, you going to bring them back for season 11?
They definitely won't be back for season 11, but it's something that we can get back to at another time.
That was a diplomatic answer.
It was. I guess that is a diplomatic system, +5 diplomacy XP for me. But yes, it is something that we can consider moving forward in the future, but not for season 11.
All right.
Just go play a Ferengi. Sit down.
Team Ferengi. Well,
So
thank
embarrassed,
you.
my son. I'll try to calm him down.
What?
No, I'm wearing a watch on purpose.
You guys
I'm
have time
keeping
to stick
You
track.
got 2 minutes. You got 1 minute. One more.
All right.
Thank you. Two quick questions, please. The gateway and the mobile, any progress on that? And secondly, any update on accolades, maybe to make them a little easier to search and possibly a reward for earning so many of them?
No, just go play a Ferengi. Sorry, I
Did
couldn't
that.
resist.
Currently, no plans to expand the gateway functionality, but we have had some talks about improving accolades, and it's a system that we'd like to get to essentially over the next year to 18 months, just to make it easier to search and easier to keep track of everything that you've earned.
Thank you.
And go play a Ferengi.
Is it okay if I in the panel now, Aaron?
If you play a Ferengi, yes, go play a Ferengi.
7:30 at the iBar. We're all
Are
gonna
you
be there.
making a
Meet
cut
the
on
devs.
this, Aaron? Do you make a percentage or something on when they play a Ferengi?
No, just, Ferengi are awesome, right? Thank you very much. Thank you. See that guy right there? Give him a free lifetime membership.
Some things
Just
never
kidding. Don't-
change. Oh, well,
Don't be jealous now. Don't be jealous. Ferengi are
that's
awesome.
what it
For
is.
those of you who were standing in line and didn't get to ask your question, the developers are actually going to be at the iBar at 7:30, so you guys can come down and ask them face to face.
Not just us, plenty more, 4 or 5 others.
Thank you guys, and thank you, Aaron and Chase.
Yeah, thank
being
you for
here.
playing the game. I hope you continue to and enjoy it. Thank you for having me be part of the game.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much
playing
for
the
joining us,
game,
Aaron,
guys. This is
Chase.
fun.
Very
Thanks so much for
appreciate it.
having us.